First Coast News on your side tonight. A high school diploma opens the door to future success. We cheer people who change course early in life, miss their first chance, then try to go back. A Jacksonville woman trying to better her life gives her money to a private online school, only to find the diploma she's earned isn't worth the paper it's printed on. First Coast News at 6 holds the school accountable.
A local student says she was misled and left out to dry. Thank you for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Anthony Austin.
And I'm Jeannie Blaylock. She recently graduated from First Coast Academy, but turns out her diploma is worthless. So, of course, Ken Amaro is on this story tonight to explain what's happening.
That's correct, Jeannie. First Coast Academy, an online high school, has been around since 1999. But tonight, this recent graduate is raising questions about the value of her diploma. We wanted to know, how is it able for this school to issue a diploma that no other institution is now willing to accept? Ernestine Lawson dropped out of high school in the 8th grade.
My mother was ill, and I had to drop out.
Years later, 2013, she enrolled in First Coast Academy, an online high school, to get her high school diploma.
It was very important to me to get a high school diploma.
Lawson graduated First Coast Academy 2015. Her diploma arrived in the mail.
I'm mad. I'm angry because I can't do anything with it.
But now Lawson says the diploma she paid for is now being rejected by local colleges because her high school is not accredited.
I can't get into any colleges that I've tried. No one would accept this diploma.
We investigated First Coast Academy and found it is a private high school. It is registered with the Florida Department of Education. There are testimonials and there are complaints. This building is home base for the online school, the gift shop owned and operated by the school. Principal Barbara Cornelius declined an on-camera interview. Off-camera, she said, "We offer the same courses the state of Florida requires." She rebuffed being called a diploma mill. "If you sit and take classes, I would hardly call us a diploma mill," she said. Cornelius said the school was accredited by the National Accreditation Agency at one time. Lawson reached out to the school to get her diploma corrected, and this is what she was told.
She told me to go to a community college and take the GED test. That's free. If I wanted a GED test, I could have just did that and been done with it.
Lawson now has 2 words for anyone pursuing an online education: buyer beware. Now, the principal said the school is still willing to reimburse Lawson's GED fees if she passes the exam. The Florida Department of Education does not require private schools to be accredited, just to be registered with the state. A spokesperson told me it is the student's responsibility to find out if the school is accredited and if the agency is recognized by the Council on Higher Education or the U.S. Department of Education. In this case, again, this school is not accredited by anyone. Back to you.
Very interesting story. Ken Amaro on your side tonight. Right now, we're watching 2 northbound lanes of traffic on US 301 near Lottie after a deadly crash there. Highway Patrol tells us a tractor trailer and a box truck collided. Right now, it's unclear what caused that crash, but we do know the driver of the box truck has died. We have a crew on the way. We will have an update for you as soon as we learn more tonight.
Well, soon the Jacksonville Beach Police Department will buy new badges for the entire department, but those badges are not going to come cheap.
Not cheap at all. It's going to cost about $17,000. First Coast News' Brittany Dion set out to find out where the money is coming from and how much of the taxpayer money. Brittany.
Well, Jacksonville Beach Police tell me that none of the money going towards buying new badges for the department will come from taxpayer dollars. In fact, all of the $17,000 is going to cost is money seized from criminals.
Our other badges are very generic. I've been with the department now for 28 years. It's been the same badge.
Commander Steve Corbett with Jacksonville Beach Police says the $17,000 allotted to buy new badges for the department comes from the Federal Equitable Sharing Fund. It's money seized from criminals and shared with law enforcement throughout the state. Corbett says the money must be used for law enforcement improvements.
New idea, new technology.
This is a rendering of the new badge. Police say it's more personalized and updated.
It's a lifeguard building in the city of Jacksonville Beach, so it'll easily identify this police department as being a part of this community.
And Commander Corbett says that equitable sharing fund money can also be used for other community outreach efforts. Reporting in Jacksonville Beach, Brittany Dion, First Coast News.
All right, Brittany, thank you so much. Fernandina Beach High School back to normal after hundreds of students at Fernandina Beach High School were evacuated today, just in the middle of the school day. It was all because of a suspicious package. So far, police have not announced what was inside that package, but students did eventually go back to class. Tonight, the threat is still under investigation. Well, a bizarre story out of Duval County. It has social media just buzzing today.
Yeah, it is really a bizarre story. A Hyde Park elementary school teacher is under investigation tonight. She's accused of biting a student on his ear. First Coast News reporter Jason Rantala has the story for us.
Yeah, Tasia Johnson says her son was having breakfast inside the cafeteria here at Hyde Park Elementary when she says her son was told by a teacher to remove his hood or else he was getting in trouble. Now she says that teacher came up from behind her son, pulled his hood off and used a swear word. That's when the teacher allegedly told the 10-year-old if he does not remove his hood, she's going to hurt him. That's when the teacher supposedly bit Johnson's son on the ear. Johnson says she learned about the incident when her son told the school's principal, who gave her a call. Johnson then says she called police, who then arrived on the scene. Johnson says it wasn't the pain that affected her son the most, but rather emotional damage that affected him.
This is crazy. I don't send my son here to get hurt by a teacher, you know, by an educator. He's supposed to be safe here at school, and he's not, and he doesn't feel safe.
And Johnson says she's not stopping until there is justice for her son. Meanwhile, we reached out to Duval Schools. A spokesperson with them said that teacher in question has been moved to a non-school location until further notice. The Florida Department of Children and Families are also investigating. Other than that, though, Duval Schools is not commenting any further. Live on the west side, Jason Rantala, First Coast News.
Crews in Albany, Georgia are searching for a missing 2-year-old boy in the areas destroyed by those tornadoes. Detrez Green's family reported him missing Sunday night after the storm hit their mobile home, and the family is hoping and praying for the best.
Lights went out and the door flew off and my nephew gets taken with the wind. But we hopefully we'll find him, praying alive.
And family members say all of their pictures of Detrez were destroyed in the storm. Crews are searching the area. They are also using cadaver dogs and search dogs to try and find the child. Such a sad story out there, but let's get the latest now on our weather from Lauren Routingkrantz.
Hey, good evening, everyone. You know what? It was actually nice and quiet and calm, finally. Yesterday we saw sunshine, but we saw the winds as well. And today, some folks getting out to the gardens to kind of check on their plants after the storms this weekend. And look at this beautiful hibiscus that Debbie is happy to snap a picture of and send it my way. So thank you, Debbie. We love seeing some nice positive pictures like this, especially after a very stormy weekend. Now, right now we still have very clear skies across the First Coast, and I just love the color that shows up on the horizon when we've got nice cool air that's moving in and we've got nice clear skies. So snap a picture. I'd love to use it in our 7 o'clock show that's on ABC. You can join us then as well, and I'll share those there. 61 currently at JIA. We're at 65 in St. Simons and 67 in St. Augustine. So things are cooling off nicely with that sunset. We're eventually going to wake up to temperatures tomorrow in the 40s across the area. So it's going to be a cool start tomorrow, but even colder by the weekend, possibly some frost on our cars by Saturday morning. I'll have that 7-day in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Lauren. Happening right now, the Jacksonville City Council is holding a public hearing on whether to expand the city's anti-discrimination laws to include gays and lesbians. You know, Jacksonville is the largest city in Florida without those protections in place. This is the third time the council will consider the matter, and there are strong views on both sides tonight. The meeting started at 5, but the public hearing will not begin until about 6:30, so in about 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so. Council President Lori Boyer says those who wanted to attend but don't necessarily want to sit through the entire meeting can monitor the meeting's progress on the City Council website.
Well, Jacksonville man has been arrested for exposing himself to 2 students at the University of North Florida.
Yeah, Joseph Jenkins is the man we're talking about. He's charged with 2 counts of indecent exposure in public. A female student said the 27-year-old pulled up next to her on campus earlier this month and asked for directions. That's when she says he exposed himself. A second female student reported a similar situation after that. Jenkins is currently in the Duval County Jail tonight. Well, it's only been it's been a few months now since Hurricane Matthew, I can say, but tourism in St. Augustine is booming. The reason why may surprise you.
Plus, we're going to show you a Ferris wheel, and you will not believe what's actually controlling it. And we're going to talk about the Nights of Lights there in St. Augustine. Isn't that pretty? We'll be back in just a moment. New tonight, good news for the #1 industry in St. Johns County, and that's tourism. The numbers for tourism are up this winter.
That is some good news, and that's a big deal, especially after a hurricane tore up St. Augustine last fall. Our Jessica Clark joins us now on how it ended up being a really good year.
A really good season indeed. So it boils down to 3 words: Nights of Lights, really and truly. The city of St. Augustine said the light show had to go on, and the Visitors Bureau said, let's advertise it big time.
January is typically a slow month for tourism in St. Augustine, but not this month.
We didn't think it would be that crowded. We were surprised to see how many people are here.
Steve Shore is one of the many visitors who have come to St. Augustine this week
To visit the fort again.
But just a few months ago, the parking lot of the fort, or Castillo de San Marcos, was flooded, not with tourists, but with water from Hurricane Matthew. In the weeks after the hurricane, tourism at the fort slipped dramatically, like it did around the rest of St. Augustine.
Those videos of the flooded streets went viral, and they went viral around the world.
The people who work in tourism, St. Johns County's #1 industry, had to get back to work, and fast.
This is your Aussie Ice.
Knowing the importance of the Nights of Light's ability to bring people to St. Augustine, the city government worked overtime and spent $18,000 to quickly restore the damaged electrical infrastructure for the Nights of Lights. And you know what?
It started on time with a bigger crowd than we've actually had before.
And the St. Johns County Visitors and Convention Bureau spent more than 2 times the money it normally does to promote the Nights of Lights.
From November 19th through January 31st, the streets of St. Augustine come alive.
And that helped pay for the first ever TV commercial for the Nights of Lights.
And start a tradition you'll cherish for years to come.
The result was bigger than anticipated.
So the result is that from a lodging standpoint, November broke a record, beat last year, so did December. So we're really, really excited that this strategy helped us.
3 million twinkling lights became a beacon of hope for a city that suffered so much during Hurricane Matthew.
I think that's great for the local economy.
Prettier than any neon open sign, those little white bulbs let the world know St. Augustine was open for business for visitors like Shore.
There's a good chance it will stay until the lights come on this evening.
Well, the fort is a good indication of how tourism is doing in St. Augustine. So let's look at the numbers for the fort. According to the folks who work there, tourism numbers were up 2% in November compared to last November. It got even better in December, up 5% over the previous December. But this just blows me away. It is up 10% in visitorship in January compared to last January, and the month is not even over yet. Back to you.
That is some good news, and no wonder it's so beautiful down there. Thank you so much, Jess. Well, some coastal cities in the Northeast are bearing the most recent brunt of a storm that's bringing a lot of wind, rain, flooding. Here's some video to show you. Powerful wind for the nor'easter is actually lashing out, but that's what's making the giant Ferris wheel on the boardwalk in Ocean City go. It's not even on. It's just spinning from the wind. Yeah.
Wow.
The same storm is expected to bring more wind and rain and some ice or maybe snow further north through Tuesday. Cape Cod, Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, they know it's coming.
Wind, rain, and ice.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully that's not something we're going to be seeing this week.
God,
No. But hey, looking forward to the weekend. It's going to get chilly for us here. So those of you who don't have any chance to use those winter coats, you'll be able to pull them out one more time at least. So yeah, those nor'easters, no joke. But thankfully, the calm weather has arrived for us. Tuesday night, 42 degrees for you guys. If you are heading out and about, you may want a little light sweater if you're going to be out after about 9 o'clock or so. Nice clear skies, but inland fog could be possible by the morning hours. Not going to be a huge headache for the commute. However, just a little bit of a heads up, a little lingering moisture. But tomorrow we're going to see nice sunshine once again. At the beaches, 51 degrees. And now tomorrow, you head to the beach, maybe take that lunch break outdoors, do whatever you can to soak up the sunshine and the warmth. Our warmest day of the next 7. 77 degrees is that high temperature tomorrow, so maybe you want to head out and but when you're heading home from work, grab some burgers at the grocery store and fire up the grills tomorrow evening, 66 degrees by 8 o'clock. So that'll be really nice. Now, if you're heading to the beaches tomorrow, even though Jacksonville will be in the upper 70s, we're going to be in the lower 70s along the coast, just a little bit cooler, but clear sunshine along the beaches tomorrow. High tide will be in the in the early morning hours and then again in the evening hours. So for much of the day, low tide, which is awesome to get out there and go for a nice jog too in the afternoon hours with the very compact sand. Surf temperature 63 degrees. That's warming up just a tad as well. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 7:21. Also a low risk of rip currents. We're going to have that wind coming off the land, and so onshore, the sea is going to be relatively low. The surf, guys, sorry surfers, but we're not going to have a whole lot out there for you. Although you can get sunburned very quickly tomorrow, so just make sure to load up on the sunscreen if you plan to be outside for about more than a half an hour or so. Tomorrow, we hit the highest temperature that we will all week long, and then with a cold front on Thursday, we see a few showers by the middle of the day. Then we cool off, 39 degrees waking up for the kids at the bus stop on Friday morning, and then all weekend long, those temperatures stay chilly. Chris Porter, over to you.
Hey, Lauren, first from you. This week's Athlete of the Week is doing her thing up in the Peach State at Brunswick High School, and she's got a schedule busier than most high schoolers in the country. Emily Spence plays varsity softball and soccer and softball, Outside of sports, she helps her fellow Pirates serving on student council, and she's a peer tutor. Despite having such a demanding schedule, Emily still gets it done in the classroom. She's currently ranked #1 in her class. When she's not excelling in the classroom or playing sports, she volunteers countless hours in her community, and her main goal in life is very inspiring.
I've lived a life of extreme privilege, and so I just want to help people who haven't had the same opportunities as me. I'd love to travel and just kind of help people out any way I can. I'm really interested in helping with the gang violence situation we have in the United States, and I really want to just help people any way I can.
Now, if you know of a student athlete like Emily who's doing well in the sport or sports they play and in that all-important classroom and should be recognized as our Athlete of the Week, get to the sports section of firstcoastnews.com and fill out the Athlete of the Week form, or you can simply email your nomination to sports@firstcoastnews.com. We're back after this timeout.